Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, here's what's going on the recalls here in Oakland and Alameda County. Pamela Price, the petition to recall Pamela Price has made the ballot, and so um, we'll see what happens with that. And people are kind of upset about Pamela Price and her what she calls justice reform, and so we see we saw it didn't work in San Francisco because we had originally George Gascon, and he was he was kicked out pretty much, and then Chesa Bodine, he ran on the platform of justice reform measures, and so we saw a real big uptick in crime in San Francisco during George Gascon and also Chesa Bodine. And then Chesa Bodine, he was actually recalled. The recall was very successful in removing him from office, and they saw him as weak. And the thing that we have a problem with is that we have people coming in from other places. In the case of Chesa Bodine, he was from New York, and so New York politics, New York law, and California law, and specifically the Bay Area, is very different. And that's one of the things that you can't just make up laws and things that work well in one place and expect them to work the same way in another. It just doesn't happen. Period. And we saw that. But uh, we also wanted some change in the Alameda County um, District Attorney's Office because there were a lot of mistakes made. But again, Nancy O'Malley, she did do a lot of good in the office. Uh, she brought a lot of justice on cases to that were high profile, and she was Alameda County DA for 14 years. Very controversial throughout her entire reign, and you can go look up. Just look up Nancy O'Malley, Alameda County District Attorney or DA, and you can see a whole laundry list. I mean, there was so much there. I just decided, if you really want to go find out how the controversy around her during her 14-year tenure, uh, go do it. It's interesting, and um, right now, justice reform isn't on the minds of a majority of the voters and the residents because crime is at an all-time high, and uh, many cities are still grappling with uh, high theft, murders, shootings, sideshows, uh, and a lot more stuff. And Oakland's no exception. Uh, but when George Floyd, the George Floyd incident happened, and then our people started screaming, and the same thing came out of some of the people running for office, and it was a difficult period, and a lot of people ran on justice reform. Pamela Price did. Uh, Nancy O'Malley held the line until she retired, and right now it's just very difficult because we see Pam Price. She reduced and actually removed charges from a very high-profile case, and that was the security person watching over a TV crew downtown Oakland when uh, retired Officer Nishida was shot and killed in that theft. Yeah, they got all three characters, but here's the thing: Pamela Price has removed charges, saying that, well, we can't entirely prove that. Well, that's a weak excuse. You need to put as many charges on there as possible, and then the court will will settle it out. The judge will settle it out. The jury and everything. So uh, I just see Pam Price as a big disappointment. I did support her um, her campaign throughout, but now that she's gotten in office, there's been some controversial things with Pamela Price. She hired her boyfriend in the office, and so that's, you know, optics are important, and that is a very bad optic when you hire uh, a potential spouse to work alongside you within the office, and not in the same context. I mean, very different jobs, and so very controversial on that. And Pam Price here in Oakland and in Alameda County is seen as weak on crime, weak on crime, and so that's what's going on there. And then also right now, we are still gathering signatures to complete the petition, the recall petition for Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao. And we should easily acquire all the minimum votes, the minimum vote, or the minimum amount of Alameda County registered voters that needs to sign that petition is only 25,000, and so we'll easily surpass that number. And then there's the verification process. So all the paperwork and everything will be turned in here in a couple of weeks, and next month we'll find out if everything makes the ballot. If the recall for Mayor Sheng Thao makes the ballot, that will be on November 5th. And then also that opens the door for the replacement at the immediate runoff for replacement Oakland mayor. Should Sheng Thao lose and the city of Oakland voters say, out with Sheng Thao and in with somebody new. And if that makes the ballot next month, I will be one of the first people down to the Oakland City Hall at the Public Ethics Commission. You know, my story with them. And I'll be registering for that replacement mayor. And then I'm going to be talking about all the different things and how I'm going to address them within the first 100 days if you elect me your next Oakland mayor in the immediate runoff, November 5th of this year. So that's what's going on. That hopefully catches you up on the two major issues here in Oakland: the recalls of District Attorney Pamela Price, Alameda County District Attorney Pamela Price recall, and then also the recall of Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao. She's so unqualified. It's really sad, and our city is suffering. And again, all she can do is talk about budget cuts, and then she wasted a lot of city resources and time trying to rekindle a dead issue, which is the Oakland A's. And she wasted tens of thousands of dollars on an issue that was already settled as far as Major League Baseball was concerned and John Fisher was concerned. The baseball team was gone. There's no bringing them back. And they proved that all through that. And then It was voted by all the club, the team owners, to move away from Oakland. So a lot of time and money wasted by Mayor Sheng Thao on an issue that she shouldn't have even been touching on. That was an issue that her and then Mayor of Oakland, Libby Schaaf, should have been addressing up front. And the thing about Sheng Thao, she didn't bring anything to the table. She didn't change anything to make Oakland A's think differently. In other words, she didn't have any financial package. I mean, zero. In order to get that stadium, uh, an EIFD, Enhanced Infrastructure Financing District, EIFD, had to be started. And Oakland and Alameda County are nowhere near that, starting an EIFD. In fact, they don't even talk to each other. So right now, getting an EIFD started is not in the cards and not a possibility at this point. And the hostility between Alameda County and the city of Oakland goes back to Mount Davis on the Oakland Coliseum, which you, the Oakland residents, are still on the hook for, because the Oakland A's or the Mount Davis Oakland Raiders, that was a bargaining chip that we were sold down the river, and we were put our butts on the line to pay for something that an owner wanted, and that was Al Davis, and that was one of the enticements to bring the Oakland Raiders back to Oakland. And now they're not here; they're in Las Vegas, and then the Oakland A's are going to be joining them too. So, good riddance to them. I have new ideas, new vision for an Oakland team, which is soccer. Soccer teams are big right now, and in fact, I would like to see a downtown Oakland soccer stadium, and there's a perfect place for that. The 980 corridor. We build over that freeway, put a top deck over it, like what San Francisco did over out in the Presidio, and we deck over that. We reclaim all that lost land that now is the 980 freeway. We reclaim that. We put that as community land trust property, set up low cost, no cost housing. Once again, we have the agency already here in Oakland. It's called the Community Housing Assistance Center. So that was where the Oakland Housing Authority used to operate, and that's where you got housing here in the city of Oakland. That's where you got your Section 8. That's where you got your housing assignments, and everything. And so that office still operates today. So there's not a big expense. It's just repopulating the agency there. So there's a lot of solutions that need to happen, and the problem, I'll go more in depth with it, but Jerry Brown sold all of the Section 8 housing, the low cost housing, back in the early 2000s. I witnessed that, and a lot of those properties were dirt cheap. And that was part of the subprime loan spending. And I knew subprime loans were going to be a disaster, but the original intent was very good, and that came in through the Clinton administration back in the 90s. But it really didn't take off until the late 90s and in the early 2000s, which really fueled the subprime loan debacle in America. And city of Oakland was devalued because we sold all of our low-cost housing. Nearly, if I remember right, nearly 2,500 units were either sold or destroyed. And we're talking about the Acorn in West Oakland, the Portobello's and out by the Embarcadero. We had a whole lot of homes out here in East Oakland, a whole section out by the Havens Court, and all of those were sold. And when they went up for sale, when Jerry Brown ordered the city of Oakland to sell all of that property, take that money and do other projects with Oakland, 9 to Oak Street projects, and the rebuilding of the warehouse district, the produce district outside of Jack London Square. So a lot of monies were diverted. They were raised through selling those Section 8 housing, the Housing Authority property from under you, the taxpayer. And that's why we had such a huge increase in homelessness. That was the start of it. And so now you know what the start of Oakland homeless situation was. Jerry Brown. And he sold all of the property. And if it wasn't sold, it was destroyed and demolished. Thank you for joining me today. That's what's going on with the recalls. Let's get rid of both of them. Get rid of Pam Price. Get rid of Mayor Sheng Thao. Put somebody who's competent and is going to look out for the best interests of you, the Oakland residents and voters. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.